This week on NintenDomain, I count all the party members I have lost in Darkest Dungeon.
And I'm happy to say, Snake ain't broke.
I went to the Socal Retro Gaming Expo.
Welcome to NintenDomain episode 105. We're your hosts. I'm Trey, Double Dragon, Arcade Super Broken Johnson.
I'm Jeremy, Missed My Micro Mikowski.
I'm John, Master Quest Knitter.
Master Quest. And we are here to bring you all the fun Nintendo news and our experiences with games and all that fun stuff, as we do every week. Let's start off talking about the stuff that we got for the week. But before we get into what we bought, we recorded John live on the show floor from Socal, so let's go to that real quick.
Diddly-doo, diddly-doo, diddly-doo.
So we have John live on the Socal Gaming, or what is it?
Socal Retro Gaming Expo.
Yeah. How is it over there?
Oh, it's pretty fun. So I've been here for about almost 3 hours now. It's getting packed. People are really starting to come in. I'm sitting outside right now, outside the convention center. It's a little bit too noisy inside to record, but yeah, the parking lot is getting full. I would estimate, I don't even know, there's probably about 2,000 people here just for the game convention. But the place that it is being held at is called Frank and Sons Collection Show, and it's kind of like one of these weekend trade centers that's only open on the weekend, and then they have all these different vendors inside for various things. But this is probably the coolest one of those that I've been to, because it all seems to be focused on stuff that we would be into. I mean, it's all like comics and action figures and video games and all that stuff, but it's like permanent. It's there all the time. Mm-hmm. And then at the center of the show, it seems like this is the space that they kind of change out every once in a while for whatever show happens to be rolling through. And this weekend, it is the Socal Retro Gaming Expo. So all kinds of cool gaming deals. They've got a setup with arcades, like maybe 30 or 40 arcade machines, all free play. And they have a whole console area with console games. I played an NES with a selection of maybe like 200 different games on it. Like they have some kind of cart that you can just select all the different games. Yeah, and then they've got meet and greets, and they've got panels. I haven't been to a panel yet, but I'm going to go to some later today. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Have you taken a look at the merch booth or the tent or wherever they sell all the games at?
Yeah, I've been looking all around, and they seem to have pretty fair deals overall. I know that a lot of times at these type of shows, they jack up the prices or
are there a lot of vendors?
Whatever, but
like, are there a lot of people selling stuff? Is there a big sales area?
Yeah, that's the main focus, is the sales area.
Okay.
So it's definitely all about that, trying to come and find deals on random games and rare games and all that cool stuff. It's actually sponsored by Hyperkin.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of their stuff
is it
here.
really?
And yeah, it is. I got a free Hyperkin bag.
I was going to say, did they give you a Game Boy for walking in? That'd be worth it.
Ask, yeah.
I would love to see that.
That would be worth the
that.
price of admission.
That would be a nice surprise, wouldn't it? If they just they could just brought it over from CES. It's not too far away.
What's in the bag, in the Hyperkin bag? Like
they just gave the bag for free, and then another Hyperkin thing they had was like a little medallion, which I haven't really looked at yet. So let's see what it is. All right. So it's a little medallion. It looks like it's got Pogs inside.
Oh,
are those back
like
now?
Pogs. I didn't know Pogs were back.
I don't think they. Yeah.
an Alf form.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice hefty collector coin, and then it's not, the Pogs aren't inside it, but there's Pogs behind it. It's wrapped up in a package right now.
Oh, okay.
They were handing out 8-bit sunglasses. Like, you've ever seen those with the 8-bit frame?
Yeah.
I got some of those for free from RetroBit.
Does it make the world pixeled when you wear them? Turns everything into
no, they're not actually even sunglasses. They're just like an empty frame.
Oh, okay.
But no, they don't have any sort of pixelating effect on the world. Although
You know-
I see the world that way anyway, so that's fine.
Like they have like those glasses that like sometimes when there's light sources it looks like money or whatever. They could do something like that with the bit glasses.
Oh no,
Have you seen those?
yeah, no, it's nothing like that. It's just an empty frame.
Yeah.
And then I got a poster. They have like a special edition poster of all the people who are showing up at the show.
Oh, like a group shot of the special guests.
Yeah, it's like a illustrated poster of all these people.
Cool.
So, yeah. Oh, and then there's something I found out about. So this is news to me, but it looks like somebody is making basically a replica of the SNES CD that you can buy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got this poster. I'll show it to you guys later. Some of the stuff in so the viewers can look it up and see it.
So somebody's making a replica of the Nintendo PlayStation? Is that what you're saying?
I can't tell. Maybe so there's this poster that is handed out. Maybe this is just like a mock poster or something. In fact, I think that's probably what it is. But somebody mocked up a poster of like, hey, coming soon to a Toys R Us near you, the Sony Nintendo PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a
It might
mock-up.
have to be a mock-up because of Toys R Us.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the case now. But I thought maybe somebody was making basically like a Nintendo PlayStation Mini, quote unquote, or something. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But
What would you play on it?
I don't know, just that
CDs.
like
Yeah.
one random homebrew game, that came out.
Well, they'd have to be
Like
like.
Super Famicom games.
Yeah.
As I say, if it was a mini, they'd have to be like GameCube discs because the CDs wouldn't fit.
But yeah, I'm taking it that maybe the Nintendo PlayStation is going to be here somewhere. So I'll look out for that.
Is Ben Heck there?
What'd you say?
Man, he's everywhere.
I was gonna say, is Ben Heck there because like he's the big Nintendo
Oh,
PlayStation
no, I don't
guy.
think he's going to be here. No, I haven't heard about him.
Because I think he's the one who has that thing, so it might not be there if he's not there.
I know it's been here in
Well,
the past.
he's not
They
the
had it
one.
last year.
He's not the one that has it. It's that Terry guy and his
Uh-oh.
son that take it around.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
But he goes.
So Ben fixed it up for him and had it working. And the reason he was at that presentation is because he's the one who got it working.
Yeah.
So he showed a demo of it. But that one dude and his son just travel with it wherever. Ben doesn't go.
Oh, okay.
Wherever they go.
It made it sound like he was like it was always with him because I read
They go like international. They go to like every game convention, which is probably awesome. They just get paid to go to all these conventions.
Oh, they're probably there then, somewhere. I have to look around for.
I know
them.
they were here last year. I didn't go last year. Yeah, and then one more thing I got this Hyperkin like fake little bow tie. It's like a pin, but it's in the shape of an 8-bit bow tie. Yeah, so I got some free stuff. Also, one more thing of note, I got this magazine that somebody handed me out for free. It's Old School Gamer Magazine, and it's a pretty cool design. I haven't opened it up yet. It's all sealed, but there's a poster inside, and I think there's an interview with Walter Day inside.
No, cool.
The person that I talked to said they're looking for writers, so I don't know. I'll open it up and see what I
There
can
you
do.
go, man.
And Jeremy, maybe you'd like to write for this magazine too. So yeah, all kinds of opportunities.
Keep an eye out for weird handheld consoles, like Trey said.
Yeah. Is there any?
Yeah, I haven't seen a weird handhelds yet. Wait, not as far as the actual game expo, but on the outside and the rest of the trade show, I've seen like a portable Super Nintendo. You plug the cartridge in on top and play your
A
Super
Super
Nintendo.
Boy.
The Superboy?
I don't think it was that one. It was something else.
Oh, okay.
Some other brands.
Hyperkin.
It wasn't a Hyperkin either.
Because I've seen those
But,
Superboys all over the place. Does it have controller ports on the front?
No, it was in a case. I didn't get too good of a look
Oh,
at
okay.
it. Yeah, and I
So
saw.
it was a display model.
Yeah, it was a display. I did see for the first time a Sega CDX. I've never seen one of those before.
Oh, what's
That
that?
was pretty cool. That is a portable Genesis and Sega CD all in one.
Oh, God. Is that like a Nomad with a CD attached to it or something?
It doesn't have a screen on it, so it's not like a Nomad, but it's like the size of basically like a big hard drive, like a big portable hard drive. Kind of has that size and heft to it. But you can put your CD in it and play
Pretty
your
late
Sega
model.
CD games wherever you want. Yeah,
Mm.
like 96 or something.
Oh, wow.
But the guy was selling it for $350. So no
Yeah. Those Sega CDs aren't cheap. I was looking into those for a minute, but they were all like over 100, so I stopped.
Yeah,
There
I
are not a
imagine
lot
the
of
ones would be
great
hard to find.
games.
I saw Night Trap, an original copy boxed of Night Trap.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what kind of stuff have you seen? Like, is there anything that you saw and you're like, wow, that's a lot of money for that, or like, I don't know, or I don't, anything interesting in the vendors?
So far, I haven't seen like a little Samson or anything like that. Yeah, no, I've not seen anything super rare yet, but I've just kind of done like a cursory overview. I haven't actually looked in and like sorted through anything yet, but that's my plan for later today, to dig in deep and sort. I just wanted to get an overview and see what the whole place was like and see what people were generally offering. There's a lot of T-shirts, a lot of homemade stuff. This one girl, she made this really cool 3D printed Majora's Mask.
Oh.
And they're really cool. I looked at it and I thought it was actually made of wood at first, but she did such a good job of printing it and painting it. It looks like wood, but it's plastic. So she was selling those for, I think, $80.
Oh, wow. And you
They're
can
full-size masks.
And you can wear it?
Like, you could wear it. I mean, they look more like child size to me. It would look too small on me. It certainly wouldn't look proportionate like the actual mask from the game was,
Yeah.
That game was pretty huge. That mask was pretty huge.
Yeah.
But, she also printed out these replicas of the Divine Beast, which were really cool and really intricate. And having some experience with 3D printing, I know that doing small, fine detail like that is pretty difficult. So what she did was pretty remarkable. Yeah, and so that's a lot of stuff. What I'm seeing is like homemade stuff, home design T-shirts, hats, backpacks, and all kinds of stuff like that.
How have you seen any other like podcasts set up at booths? I know Jeremy and we saw a lot of that at the MGC.
Yeah, so the people that I've seen so far, I've seen Andre from Black Nerd Comedy. I've seen the Gaming Historian. I've seen Pat the NES Punk. He hosts the CU podcast with his friend Ian. I saw him too. Mm-hmm. James Rolfe is supposed to be there. He's not had his booth set up yet, but he's going to do a panel later today that I'm going to go to. And I guess the Game Chasers are here. I haven't seen those guys yet, but I see people wearing their T-shirts. Mm-hmm. A lot of famous YouTube people. Seen a couple people walking around.
You seen some famous
YouTube people,
Like who?
Well, like all those guys that I just mentioned. And
okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything weird in the merch booth that you're like, why is this here? Like, or just something that sticks out? Like, I know, like in the MGC one, they sell like board games and comics and stuff like that. Or there was a guy who was selling like kids' books that he drew, and there's always interesting stuff.
One guy is selling fantasy books, and like this has nothing to do with video games. Like, why is he here? But so there was that guy. I seen some cool stuff, some cool oddities. Like they had this Luigi giant pen. Ever seen like those comical giant pens? So there's one that's from Japan. It's this Luigi giant pen, and when you click the top down, it's actually Luigi on the top, and he's going into a green pipe. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that I'm seeing.
Are a lot of people dressed up there? Like, is there like a cosplay thing or anything like that?
Not a whole lot of dressed up people. There's a handful, but yeah, it's not really too much about like cosplay and that kind of thing. I do think they're doing a cosplay contest later. Now that I mention it, but I think that's tomorrow, and I won't be here tomorrow.
Are there any sort of like game competitions or anything like that going on? I know sometimes they have tournaments
Smash
or whatever.
Brothers competition going on. There's a couple others I don't remember off the top of my head. I remember that Smash Brothers is going on. I'm not too practiced up on Smash Brothers, so I don't think I will enter. I think there's also a fee for it.
Oh, yeah, that stinks.
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, the one in Milwaukee, you can like time trial as many times as you want for free to try to make it into it. Like they'll have TV set up where you can play. Is there like an area where there's do they have like old games hooked up? I know that you said there's like arcades, but is there
Yeah.
Do they have like systems hooked up? Like, can you play
they got a whole spot with systems hooked up. I've seen, you name it, every old system. A lot of NES. I've seen Super Nintendo, saw Atari. They have the Retrons hooked up. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times the vendors will have TVs and stuff with their games.
Yeah, this TV set aside, and I've seen like the NESs all have those multi-game carts, so you can pick whatever games you want.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
Are there anybody there who's making new NES games or like stuff like that?
Yeah, there was one on display in that in the console setup area. I forget what game it actually was. I don't think it was any game I'd heard of before, but they had made a new NES game and they had it on display there.
Yeah. Have you seen any of those the HD NESs?
No, I've not seen any of those. No,
not even the guy who had the game, who made the NES game, because sometimes they have those hooked up.
No, I see a lot of CRTs.
Oh, okay. Is anybody selling them there? I saw a guy with a booth at a. And I was saying, is there a CRT booth? I saw one at the MDC when we went there.
It's pretty much all CRTs. I think I may have seen one LED or maybe two.
Yeah. Is anybody selling them?
Like selling them? No, I've not seen anybody selling them.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty smart, though.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the TVs that they have there is like those old, like wood grain. Remember when TV used to be like furniture? It's like one of those TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's all staticky. Like it only like half works and the screen is flickering.
Yeah.
But they put it out there because that's sort of the authentic experience. So people want to try playing on that TV.
Yeah. You want to remember like not being able to see anything.
Right.
Make it harder than it already is. Those scan lines.
Is there anybody riding around on a unicycle?
No unicycles here. No unicycles to report.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame.
Are they doing any like live bands or?
No, there's no live bands. People got music going and stuff all the time, but I've not seen a stage with bands or anything like that. I think the main feature is just the selling the games and then the panels that they're doing.
The panels, right?
What are the topics of the panels? Is it like how to be a YouTube star, or are there ones about specific games?
They didn't really announce like that there was any topic to the particular panels. I mean, I think it's basically like come up and see what your favorite people have to say. And I imagine a lot of them have podcasts, and they'll just do like a live recording of their podcast or something like that.
Yeah,
I think that's what happens a lot because they want to reuse that media for future stuff. So it'll be So like when I saw the 8-bit guy in Portland, he was just talking about something that he was already like talking about in his YouTube. So he's just like a continuation of it.
Right, they're recording material.
Yeah. I saw that the voice of Zelda is on there from Breath of the Wild. Yep. Is she doing a panel?
I think she's got a panel going on. I know she's got a booth out there.
Yeah.
But,
can she sign your Breath of the Wild cartridge?
I didn't even bring it. I was going to bring my Power Glove to have that signed by people too, but I forgot to do that. But now that I think about it, I'm kind of thankful I didn't because I don't know. I want to keep it maybe signed by just Nintendo people.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of Switches there? Are you seeing people playing Switches?
I've not seen any Switches, and I've not seen any modern systems, really. No.
Oh, weird.
PS4s or anything.
Because they were
all about the retro gaming.
Because I saw, like, the one we went to, I saw a lot of people, like, playing 3DS. Like, a lot of people had 3DSs, and I got the most, like, Street Passes I've ever gotten there.
Yeah, no, I've not even seen people, like, playing their Switches or anything like that. There's not really much space to, like, sit around in there.
Oh, okay.
Like a lounge space or whatever. It's really all about shopping and looking around. If you're going to be playing a game, you'll be playing one of the games on the arcade or you're playing the consoles that they have set up.
Sure.
So, yeah, there's not too much lounge space around here.
What is probably the latest system that you've seen there? Like, they probably don't have, do they have Wii set up? Do they have, like, Wii U set up? Like, are there PlayStation 3s or
I've not seen
4s?
I've not seen a Wii U.
Like, is there any, like, this generation stuff set up? Probably not, right?
No, not at all. I've not seen any.
Yeah.
The latest gen I've seen. Oh, no, that's not true. No, I've seen PS4 games for sale. I saw PS4 games.
Yeah, but
just a handful though.
Yeah. Did you walk through like the area where the systems are set up? Like, is there anything super cool that you want to play later that you saw?
Oh yeah. I might give Super Smash Brothers a go just casually, but I don't want to jump in the tournament.
Which one do they have hooked up? Do they have all of them, or is it just like the 64 one or the GameCube one?
They have Melee.
Okay.
Yeah, just Melee. They do have a unique setup. I mean, it looks like it's a console inside an arcade cabinet, but the cabinet has like a red siren light on top of it, and I forget what they called it, but it was something like some kind of challenge, like where it'll record your fastest time on this game or that game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yes, it's basically a speed run arcade. So the guy that I saw when I walked by, he was playing Donkey Kong Country, trying to get the fastest time through the first level.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I'd totally try that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that too.
Yeah, I know some of those have like internet hookups or whatever where you can send it, to leaderboards and stuff. I think the HD NES had that. I know way back when we had Jeffrey Wittenhagen on here, he mentioned it. If you happen to see a guy selling a book called the Complete SNES, he was a guest of ours. If you see him.
Oh yeah, I remember he was a guest. Yeah. Yep.
He seems to go. I mean, I've seen him at all the conventions that I've been to. I don't know if he's around, but
I'll look out for him.
He was in Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look out for him, and I'll tell him you said hello.
Yeah. Do that. Well, is there anything else you want to know, Jeremy, or do you have any questions, or is there anything else you want to say about this for now?
I've been looking out for the Ardu boy. I'm not seeing the Ardu boy. You gotta call your people. Tell them to get on it.
I'll call my people.
Yeah,
see if they're there.
Like it's not retro enough. It's too early.
Did you say they do have pinball machines, or is it mostly just arcade?
I've seen one pinball machine so far, just one.
Is like from the arcades that you saw, was there one that was like, oh man, that's crazy. I've never seen one of those. Like that Atari football game we played.
I've not seen any crazy like, ooh, I've always been wanting to try that. No, I've not seen any of those. I did. I've never played Smash TV before in the arcade, so I jumped on that one, and I had a lot of fun with that. It's a lot different playing that with the twin sticks on the cabinet versus playing with the NES control pad.
Oh yeah, I bet. Makes sure it's a lot better in the arcade.
Yeah, yep.
So
I've not seen anything too rare.
Yeah, so it's like your standard like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and.
Yeah, I saw Street Fighter. I think I saw a Gunstar Heroes cabinet.
Oh, sweet.
Which is pretty unique.
Yeah, I didn't know they had those.
Yeah.
Let me know if you see Tweet Fighter.
Tweet Fighter?
Yeah.
What's Tweet Fighter?
That's the one I saw in Portland where they had it Street Fighter hooked up to the internet, and you would choose someone on Twitter, and then their tweets would affect how the action played out on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So somebody had to like type in Hadouken or something, or
I'm not exactly sure how it worked. It was kind of messing with my head, but people kept putting in Donald Trump, so it kept doing the same thing because it was just using his.
So your character would just die. They'd just fall over because they didn't know how to fight or anything to be what happened.
Right.
And their face turned.
They just started eating steak.
Their face turned orange, and they just started like yelling racial slurs.
Started saying shithole.
Yeah.
I know it was weird because it was Dalsum who was doing it. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be peaceful.
Well,
yeah, that's what's going on over here.
Okay.
Socal Retro Gaming Expo.
Cool. Well, we'll definitely we'll do an update on this same episode, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I'll tell you all about what I'm going to see at the panels and everything, and give you all the further information. Like I said, I got about
in your hall
5 hours left here. So,
do you have a certain amount of money that you're planning on spending while you're there? Do you have a limit? Do you got like a cash in your pocket that where like you'll be like, when I run out of this, like I'm done? Anything like that? Any smart thing that you should do when you go there, which I don't normally do?
I just got paid on Thursday, so that could be trouble. But yeah, I don't know. I've not seen anything yet that I think I'm like oh, I need that. I think I might buy the Ultimate NES Guidebook by Pat Country. Just gotta listen to his podcast a lot. Yeah. Seems like he's got a pretty nice book. I was looking at it at the table. It's nice, big hardcover coffee table book. Yeah,
those books are pretty.
Every NES game, in the whole library. So, yeah, it's pretty fascinating book. I think that's like $40.
I was gonna say those books aren't that cheap.
Yeah, but there's a lot that went into it, and I can see why it's $40. I think that'd be worth it. So I might pick that up.
Did you find? Are you still looking for like 3DSs and that stuff, or do they have anything like that? Is that too early or too late? I mean,
getting another 3DS? I didn't actually hear you.
No, I was just asking if you'd seen any cheap ones. Didn't you say you'd possibly be looking for a 3DS?
Yeah, I might pick one up I would say like if I could find it for $50. Mm-hmm. That's a thought. I might do that.
Yeah, but you haven't seen any yet.
No, I've not seen any that caught my eye.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be interested to hear your haul. See what you find there.
I will let you know.
Make sure and buy something weird. Do the Jeremy way. Buy a weird thing while you're there. It's always good. But buy it if you see a strange thing. Buy it.
I'm gonna find the weirdest thing.
If you find a thing that helps you play a keyboard through an NES, get that. Well, Jeremy already got that, but stuff like that.
It's appropriate now that you can do that with the Switch though in April.
Oh, the Korg thing.
That's true. Yeah, I don't need that anymore.
Oh no, the cardboard.
Fold some cardboard. I'm good.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that's good for an intro there for the show. Have fun while you're there, and we'll talk to you when you get back.
All right.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Good luck, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hope you find some cool shit and meet some cool people.
Me too.
Yeah, that was crazy, all the things that you said, John. We'll talk to you
at the end.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Socal crazy.
Yeah, we'll find out
Socal
about all that
crazy.
after we talk about the stuff that we bought and all the news for this week. We're going to save John's for the end because you went to the big Socal and all that. So we'll talk about that as our topic after break. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, Jeremy, did you get anything this week?
Well, I did get one thing, and I could talk about that here in a second. But the one thing I didn't get that I was so close to buying, and I just said it as my name. I saw a Game Boy Micro at Disc Replay.
How much?
$65.
That's good, right? I haven't really been
pretty good.
following micros.
That's a really good price.
Yeah.
Price.
Why didn't you get
and
it?
I decided I couldn't afford it, so I didn't buy it.
Oh, that sucks.
Because rent's due soon, and I'm really broke.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I want to not. Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna go. I get paid tomorrow.
You gonna
So
go back?
I'm gonna run in Friday morning and see if it's still there, and I might buy it then. But I don't expect it to be. That's a really good price.
Yeah. I was wondering, you hadn't told me about missing a micro. I really want one of those, but
it just happened today.
I haven't found one at a decent price yet.
It's in great shape, and it has the adapter and everything with it. So
nice. I
wish I could have just bought it.
Yeah.
What color was it?
It was just a silver one. It was like the traditional one. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
But you can change the plates on those, can't you? Like early 3DS stuff? So I thought you could. Or you could put like different stickers on there or something. I mean, you can put stickers on anything.
No, they're faceplates that change. And I think every time you bought one, it usually came with an extra plate. But this one just doesn't have the original packaging or anything.
Have you looked into the plates? Like how much they cost? Like if you would just buy regular plates?
Not really. No, I haven't looked into it. I will immediately if I buy it. Probably look at plates. It doesn't play... It only plays Game Boy Advance games. That's another reason why I'm a little hesitant to buy it.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't know. I don't really know much about the micro, except for it being really tiny and that it had a keychain on it.
It only plays advanced games, and I don't really have... I have some, but I don't really have a lot of great advanced games. That's just... I haven't really bought a lot of them because I got several of them on the Wii U that I wanted.
Yeah.
On that virtual
I seem
console.
to recall you got that American Idol game. How about that?
Well, I do have that, and that would be pretty wonderful to play.
Well, you have the Final Fantasy games too, right? Or at least you have Final Fantasy VI.
I do.
Game Boy
no,
Advance.
I have a few great games.
So that's
in fact, Final Fantasy VI would be pretty amazing on that little tiny game.
Could you imagine how confused some people would be if you whipped out your Game Boy Micro on the keychain and started playing American Idol? That'd be a very confusing scenario to see a grown man doing that. I mean, that's worth $65, I think.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, some executive would show up and be like, "You have to give us royalties for that." Because our video on YouTube, I don't know if you saw that, Trey. Well, we're about to lose our monetization, but
yeah, we said that last week, and we've actually gotten 4 subscribers since last week. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, you 4.
Thanks for subscribing. I don't know if it was because we asked for it.
That's the only video I've seen where, and there may be others. I haven't scrolled all the way down, but it said it was flagged, and then it said that the revenue was being shared. So instead of completely taking the video down, they decided they were just going to take half of our profits, or I don't know, maybe more than half.
Well, they can have half of zero. That's fine.
That we make off of that American Idol video, right?
I was gonna say they can have half of zero. That's I'm fine with that. I've seen that on other things where it says you split it with other people.
Now I want that micro just for that experience of busting American Idol on the trip. Something.
Of being able to just bust out American Idol and just being like, hey. I'm
playing American Idol on a tiny Game Boy. What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think of this? It's amazing.
But I mean, the best part's the sound, and I could just put those MP3s on my phone,
Yeah, true, but you can't play them on your phone. I'm sure there's Game Boy Advance emulators, but who wants to do that? Who wants to play a game with buttons on a touchscreen? Nobody wants to do that.
Nope.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm sad. And I'm trying not to get my hopes up because I have a feeling it's going to be gone on Friday, but that's what I'm going to check again.
Well, hopefully you'll find it. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I'm hoping to go to Disc Replay. There's one by Jess's grandma's house, and we're going to see her on Monday, so I'm hoping to be able to go over there and check it out. I haven't really had time to go, but I'm hoping to go on the way back and see what they got over there. Because I don't know if the price will be like Champagne prices, but I mean, it is like Crown Point, Indiana, so I'm sure it'll be around there.
I think it'll probably be the same.
Yeah.
Because they're like a regional thing where they have the same pricing, I think.
Yeah.
Or I guess, the tax might be different.
I didn't mention this last week, but during my stream, I found out that that my Elgato will automatically send an HD feed to my HD TV while I'm capturing stuff on the regular TV. So that would kind of solve my 480p problem with Wii. So if I can get another cheap Wii from Disc Replay, I'll try to make some of the GameCube stuff look better with that.
It was 40 at the one that I looked at today they were 40.
Yeah, that's about how they are online. It seems like I saw them around 40, some of 50 on eBay. But I could actually find a way
to... The Wii Mini might be a little cheaper, but you probably don't want that one.
No, I don't want the Mini because I need one that has GameCube stuff on it. And the Mini doesn't have that.
So you can do the component?
Yeah. I mean, I have one with a component. I just wanted to have two because it's still in the living room and we play some Mario Party games on it, so I didn't want to move it. But yeah, have you gotten anything for the Switch this week, or did you get
No, I didn't get anything for the Switch. I got something on Steam that I've been playing a little bit of. It's called Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, and it's made by the guy who made Quap back in the day. So it's just a really painful, hard game that
I've heard of that
really
game.
Feel like there's much point to it, but
yeah.
It still has kind of an addictive property to it.
Yeah.
I tried to do a video of it, but my Elgato messed up on me. I think I just didn't have enough hard drive space, and I tried to save it in the wrong spot. It really was my fault, but I'm blaming the Elgato. But it's like you're a guy in an iron cauldron, and you have a pickaxe, but you're stuck in the cauldron, so your legs are lodged in it. And the only way you can climb the side of this mountain is by swinging your pickaxe and kind of doing acrobatic maneuvers with it. And that's all controlled through the mouse and no buttons at all, just the movement of the mouse. So it's really strange, and it takes a little while to get used to the controls. And once you start to think you have it figured out, then you mess up and you fall all the way to the bottom.
Do you use this?
What's that?
No, I was just gonna say, do you use a normal mouse for this, like a mouse? I don't know.
Yeah, that's all I have. I don't have any special. I don't have a gamer mouse or
you don't have the trackball or anything.
Trackball mouse or anything.
Because that sounds kind of crazy. I mean, I use a trackpad thing for the laptop, so I haven't used a regular mouse in a long time. So
this could not be played with a trackpad. It would be probably impossible.
So do you
making circles with the mouse?
Yeah.
And how hard you swing the pickaxe or whatever? It's how hard you move the mouse is basically what it is?
Yeah, it's the speed that it moves.
Oh, okay. So it would make sense to have a trackball-ish gamer mouse thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole time you're playing it, it's kind of has really calming music, and it reassures you that everything's okay and that you don't need to worry about beating it right now. And they're little inspirational quotes will pop up. There was a quote from C.S. Lewis that showed up. I can't remember what it said, but I was like, what? Why is there a quote from C.S. Lewis in this? But
C.S. Lewis says that you can climb any mountain with your pickaxe.
And he's when you're stuck in a cauldron, just get to the top of that mountain.
Yeah.
That was from one of his Narnia books. But
it could be.
It'll also play random old blues songs, I've noticed. They're old timey radio songs occasionally, and they're all ironic, funny songs about failure or falling or how bad you're being treated. Yeah, there's some prison shanties, and I don't know if you call it prison songs, whatever those are called. There's some of those.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any.
So I mean, there's more to it than just the game. It's got a nice level of polish on it, and it's only I think I paid. It's either $7 or $8. That's the full price right now because it's a relatively new game. But I think eventually I'll get a video of it up. So
are there different?
You'll all be able to see it better.
Are there different cauldrons, or is it just when you get to the top you win?
As far as I know, you just have to get to the top and you win. I haven't watched a video playthrough of the whole thing, but
is it you're not sure if anybody can actually get there? It just gets
harder and harder the further up you go. The incline becomes more steep, and there's weird overhangs and stuff that you have to swing around that will mess you up.
Wow.
There's a bunch of trash laying around too that you can slide on, and it'll knock it down the mountain, and then the bottom of the mountain there'll be a bunch of trash that accumulates. It's really interesting game.
Yeah, maybe it'll show up on Switch sometime. That's how I related it to our podcast. But you never know. I mean, there's been a lot of Steam stuff that's made it to Switch. If it did make it to Switch, how would you want it to be controlled? With a motion control and the Joy-Cons, or with some sort of
probably
analog movement?
Just use the stick.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they would try to bring it. I mean, it'd be cool if they could bring it over and try to do some sort of motion thing with it, because that's similar, I guess, to how you're doing it with the mouse.
Well, from what I noticed on Steam, I mean, it was one of the top sellers, so and that's because a lot of YouTubers have done videos about it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if he's making a bunch of money off it, he's going to want to keep making money. He'll just release it on other platforms too.
Yeah. Did QWOP ever make it to anything other than Steam?
I don't think so. In fact, I think QWOP was a free game. I don't think it
QWOP was on just online.
It was like a browser.
A browser game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
And
what was it like?
In fact, I think this one's based off of an old browser game. Or he says something along the lines, and he kind of gives you a brief history of how these games even came about in the first place. Like, essentially, they're games that were made by the programmers just to see if they could make the game, but not with any intention of anyone enjoying or beating these games. They were just made for the sake of making them, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, like, all these needlessly difficult games like Flappy Bird and QWOP and all that.
Flappy Bird. I never had that game, but I saw people play it. Actually, I think I might have downloaded it for a second, and I was like, why isn't Nintendo suing them for all these pipes that they stole from Super Mario World that are in this game?
Yeah, why didn't you just put like anything else besides Nintendo's green pipes in there, like his own wall or something, you know?
I mean, they're definitely pipes.
Getting sued.
They were definitely Mario pipes. This reminded me of, speaking of like stolen stuff on the phone, did you ever play Mole Kart? Did you ever see that on the iPhone? It's basically a Chinese game that's a complete ripoff of Mario Kart to where the tracks are exactly the same. The courses are exactly the same. Like, there's races in there from Mario Kart Wii, there's races in there from Mario Kart 64, and you just have mole characters instead of Mario. But it's like the exact same map from those games. It was hilarious. I downloaded it for free, and it was like a Chinese game, and it got pulled from the I think it got pulled from the iOS store. So, and even if I still had it, you couldn't play it because it never got updated to the new system or whatever. But that was.
I would like to see that. Maybe there's a video of it somewhere.
Yeah, just look up Mole Kart. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. But it was just a blatant ripoff of Mario Kart to the point of where they didn't even change the levels. They were the same. They just added like some different textures on there. But it was like, oh yeah, this is Frap Snowland. Yeah. I've played this before, except now it's Mole Kart, and it's on my phone.
The Flappy Bird guy, he didn't expect it to be that big of a deal. He just threw it together, in a couple of days, I think he said. And then he kind of lost his mind for a little while because he didn't expect the level of fame that he got.
Yeah.
And he was, getting a lot of harassment, and he was getting, threats to his life.
Yeah.
There were people that were talking about wanting to sue him because the game was so addictive that it was ruining their lives.
Yep.
And it was really messing with his head. So he took it off iOS for a while, and he went into hiding pretty much. But he still made a bunch of money in the meantime. So eventually he came to his senses and was like, all right, I'll come back and make some money. So I don't know if he made other games, or I don't know what he did, or if he just sold the license to it.
He never made Flappy Bird 2.
Whatever happened, he made a shit ton of money off of it.
Yeah.
In spite of it having reused assets from other companies.
Yeah, and it was free.
I remember he pulled it in the middle of when it really hit pretty big, and nobody understood why he pulled it.
Yeah,
and voluntarily stopped making money. Go into hiding if you want to, but don't pull the game. Just keep the money coming.
Yeah,
right. You could go on eBay at that point in time, and I don't know. I mean, people listed them. I don't know if it was real or they were fake listings, but you could buy iPhones with Flappy Bird on them, and they were inflated prices, $1,000 for an iPhone 4. That still had Flappy Bird on it because you couldn't get it on iOS anymore.
That's what.
And
yeah, that's the future.
I remember
Wii.
being should I sell my phone? I have it, but I didn't believe it was real that people were really doing that.
That's what's going to happen come 2019 when the Wii shop is down. But you're going to be selling hey, do you want to buy my Wii that has I don't know, what were some games that were on WiiWare that aren't anything else? It's I got both Lost and Wins on here.
Yeah.
What of it? Buy it.
How about May 9th when Miitomo goes down? All our phones are going to shoot up in value.
Yeah.
It will. Unless you already deleted it, which I might have done.
Which a lot of people did. Yeah, that's a news thing. I guess we could talk about that real quick. Miitomo's going down May 9th.
Gone.
That's 10 days from my birthday.
That's
May 9th,
yeah.
They're killing it.
Is that because they're bringing it to Switch? That's going to be their big May game to release right next to Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, because that one comes out on the 5th. So we'll have Tropical Freeze and Miitomo Switch right next to each other. It'll be great. We'll love it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, so obviously Miitomo, nobody's playing it anymore, so they're shutting it down because of that. But I also think most likely they're going to have some sort of social integration with their Switch online service that looks somewhat like Miitomo. Obviously, probably using Mii's. So they're probably just saying, okay, let's just kill it so there's no confusion. But then that also confirms to me that the Switch online service will come out around that time, around May 9th.
Oh.
Well, when
do you think it's going to have like the asynchronous thing then? Like your Miitomo character
can be at somebody else's house
with your friends when you're like at work or whatever?
Yeah.
I think so.
That'd be kind of cool.
They'll do it even better. Yeah.
That sounds like a weird.
People actually use it.
I figured that they'd just be shutting it down. I don't think they're really going to bring Miitomo to Switch because I don't think anybody cares.
Exactly like it. I mean, it's not going to be the exact same thing, but I think there will be a social aspect to the online service that somewhat looks like Miitomo, and it's enough of a problem that it might confuse people to think like, oh, these are the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It may. I mean, who knows? I mean, you can never really tell with Nintendo.
Yep.
And their Nintendo Labo. Did you guys see that video that I made on YouTube? Speaking of Labo,
I did.
I
like that.
That basically came from editing last week's episode and listening to that Labo song, and for some reason it reminded me of that Built to Scale song from Rhythm Heaven, and they kept like going back and forth in my head, like one song was going to the other song to the other, and I'm like, I should try to make a video of that because this is driving me insane, like having this song stuck in my head. So I made a video where I like tried to edit in parts from the Rhythm Heaven song into the Labo song and somehow make it sound like it's a new remix song or whatever. But then I ended up editing other shit in there too because I was like, I can't just have these one moving cogs like through the whole thing. So I put a bunch of other shit in there too, including the dancing Wario's from WarioWare Smooth Moves at the very end because I couldn't think of anything else to put in there at that part.
Does sound pretty similar. It wouldn't surprise me if the same people worked on the music from the game as from the video.
From I wondered about that, but most of the Rhythm Heaven stuff is by that was it Sunko? It's like TSUNK, I think. It's like a pop Japanese pop band that does like a lot of those Rhythm Heaven stuff, and I don't think. But I couldn't find. I was trying to find who wrote the song for the Labo trailer, and I couldn't find that. So who knows? Like online, like for credits, like they didn't say.
Maybe a sentient cardboard robot wrote it.
Maybe. But it was like that whole, I guess there's piano in Built to Scale as well, so that's probably why they like got mixed up, because it's all like, keys and all that. But yeah, that's what I did last week as far as editing stuff. It took me like 6 hours to do that. I was like going insane towards the end. That's why those.
I was impressed. That was a unique new video. We haven't had anything like that on our channel before.
That was where those dancing Warriors came in at the end, because I had completely lost it like on hour 6 of trying to create this weird video that was in my head, So it's like, I'm just going to put weird Wario stuff in there at the end because I don't even know anymore. I think I've lost my mind trying to edit this. But it was fun. Yeah, it was just like a weird inspiration I had on Saturday night to put that thing together. But check it out at YouTube/FingMater. You can find it on there. All of our other fun stuff. Have you been? What have you been playing this week, Jeremy? Aside from the stuff you bought,
I've been trying to do Breath of the Wild. I've been trying to get more in the
DLC.
Yeah, whatever the hell it's called.
The bike?
Ballad of Champions or whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to get the damn bike. That's exactly it. So I finished the first part. I finished the Mifa, and I found all the spots on the map by myself, so I felt good about that. But now I'm on the second part of that, and it's finding the spots on the map's not as easy.
Which part are you in?
The bird part.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was the first one I went to. That's why I had a hard time finding those spots. Was the bird one?
It's a little tougher so far, but it's fine. I mean, I'll look at a guide if I have to. I've been trying to avoid it, but like I know where I'm supposed to go for at least one of them, but I can't figure out how to activate the challenge. So
is it the is it the dragon?
No, I know I got to go after the dragon. I know where he is. I just haven't done it yet.
Okay, because that part was kind of confusing.
No, it's
on
the
how
target
to activate
part.
that.
It says hit 4 targets, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hit 4 targets.
I hated that part so much.
I've done it. I'm like, does that mean I have to do it all in one shot when I pause it? So I did that. And even when I did that, it didn't work. So I didn't know what I was doing wrong.
Yeah, you have to. I had like 100+ arrows when I started doing that, and then I ended up with about 10 at the end from doing that thing over and over and over again. I got so pissed off about it. But yeah, you have to do it like all in one thing. Like you have to like slow down time.
I totally thought I had.
And hit 3.
I thought I hit 4.
Yeah, because I did it a bunch of times too, and then I did it all in one thing, and then it triggered it. So I don't know.
Maybe I thought I hit 4 and I didn't, but I swear I hit 4 the last time, and then that's when I ran out of arrows. Also,
yeah,
I have 0 arrows.
Yeah, it sucks. Like I got really pissed off about it because I kept hitting them over and over and over again. I'm like, what's going on here? But then I went and like upped my I went and like found some shrines and I upped my my stamina. And then I did it again, all on like one, where I just slowed it down once and hit 4, like just on one slowdown, and that activated it. So I don't know if you have to do that.
Yeah, maybe I'll try some stamina potions or something.
Yeah.
Give it another shot, but I didn't give up on it. I had other stuff going on today, so I stopped playing. But I've been trying to play that. I've been taking my sweet time with it, and then I've been playing Twin Snakes on the GameCube, which it does work.
Okay, that's good.
What I discovered was where I thought it froze, it didn't freeze.
It's part of the game.
The picture is so dark on my TV that I had to turn all the lights off in my office to be able to see what was happening. Because I was crawling through a duck and couldn't see shit.
Yeah, I think I know where you're at then. Like at the beginning, where you can climb
through
through
it's
that.
at the very beginning.
Yeah, it gets really dark in there.
I thought it froze up because I could hear like a humming sound. There was sound, but it didn't look like anything was happening on screen. Well, turns out,
but you can't really tell.
It was just like pitch black, and I couldn't see it.
Yeah, because it's in isn't it like in first person when you climb through there? Or is that only in Metal Gear Solid 3?
It says like follow the mice.
Yeah,
so once you kind of follow the mice, it helps. But there's this one part where you have to crawl through the water, and like you can't see shit. You don't know what the hell's happening.
Yeah. I can imagine that because like some of the colors on that are like it's like kind of monochromatic to the place that you're in at the beginning of that game. So I could see yourself getting confused. I haven't played that game in a long time, so I don't know.
Really want my HDMI adapter. I'm like chomping at the bit for it.
You should
got like a couple more emails from that guy.
Yeah.
He said he's supposed to start shipping them out in the next like week or so. So hopefully I'll have it soon.
Yeah, come on, dude. Get off your ass.
I think I ordered it back in I want to say like October.
It was a while ago. I mean, if you can go back and listen to our, I don't know what episode it was on, but we did a.
It was like far before that because that was when I went to Portland, and I remember seeing the guy there that made the video, Metal Jesus, that made the video about it.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, I want to ask him about that adapter. I did never actually talk to him. But, so it was before even then that I ordered it. It was probably in August or September.
You didn't come up to him and be like, "Hey, man, you ever get that adapter? You ever get the new one?" Well, I guess he did.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Metal Jesus? It's Jeremy. Remember me? No? Oh, well, I saw you on the internet, so I assume you know me, too.
Yeah, he should. He's like, you've seen my stuff too, right? You saw that American Idol video that I made.
Did you watch my fucking Aladdin series? Where I play SNES Aladdin in two installments.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. That's like your claim to fame is your Aladdin 2 installments one.
It's the entire gameplay is on YouTube.
Yep. Me too. We'll have to. John's going to be here for the weekend in Chicago, so. I want to do.
Man, I wish I could make it up there. I really wish I could.
Yeah, I want to do some YouTube stuff on
if
Saturday
I lived
night,
a little closer,
so it'll be fun.
Maybe
that would be cool.
I thought about doing
about 200 miles away.
I thought about doing like a John's Retro Revival, and we'll have him play Eternal Dark or not Eternal Darkness. I do have Eternal Darkness, but Eternal Champions, which I do
Eternal
have that
Champions,
game.
Yes,
I have that game.
I can't bring my activator though.
Well, that's
my suitcase.
I don't think there's enough room in this room for your activator anyway. But yeah, I don't think I have two. I don't have two Sega controllers though. But you can just play it and show me stuff, and we'll just talk about it and record it. It'll be cool.
Sure.
So we'll put it on, and we'll record some other stuff too. I'm sure.
Maybe we could do a 3-player. We could do another Rocket League or something.
Yeah, I wish we had another thing that we could do 3-player. Like if you got Splatoon 2, John, we could all do like a Salmon Run or something like that and record it, which would be fun. Because that game's really fun.
I don't have that.
Yeah, Salmon Run's a lot of fun, but if you had that game, then we could all do it. And we could actually talk to each other through the Nintendo app in that game. That's the only time I ever got that to work was on Salmon Run and Splatoon 2.
Well, I think that's the only app. It's the only one it does work on.
Yeah, but you can do it through your phone. But that's the only time we actually talk to each other because we tried doing it on the on like the regular turf mode or whatever, and we couldn't talk to each other because we were on separate teams. We were on different teams, so they wouldn't let us talk. So the only thing we could talk on is Salmon Run. But it's the easiest way to get that to work. Like if you want to voice chat.
That's how we made that friend Hunt Whale or Hurt Whale or something.
No, I know him actually.
Talking to him.
Hunter, he's a production guy. I actually knew him from Columbia. Yeah.
Oh, he keeps. I was like, I must add him as friends on Switch because he shows up on my friends list now.
Yeah, because I think I just like invited him because I saw he was on Splatoon 2 and to see if he was on, and he ended up having the voice chat thing on too. So I was like, oh, cool. So yeah, that was like the one time we voice chatted on that through the phone and through your Bluetooth thing. So
yeah.
But Salmon Run's a lot of fun, and it'd be a cool thing to do online through do an Elgato stream or something like that.
You can't do a split screen from, like, if we were playing on the TV together and then have Jeremy join?
No, there's no split screen in Splatoon. It's all...
0.
Yeah. It's all online. Like, you can't do any... That was like the big...
I was like super disappointed when I found out, because I'd already bought the game.
Yeah.
When I found out you could do 2-player.
Yeah. Well, you can, but you just guys got to both have Switches.
Yeah.
And Splatoons. And both have Splatoon. An interesting thing, though, I played Salmon Run with Jess's brother when he was here for a second in Chicago, and you can only play a multiplayer on Splatoon if you guys have the same version, like the same updated version of it.
Oh.
And what you can do is you connect your Switches, and he'll because we didn't have any internet, and he sent his updated version of Splatoon to my system to update it. I didn't know you could do that. It's really cool. You can just do it wirelessly between the two of them. So if you want to play and you don't have matching versions and there's no internet, you can just totally he can just send it straight to my system. My system uploads it, and then we can play.
That's cool.
Interesting.
It was cool. I didn't know I didn't know you could do that, but we did it.
It's like a good virus.
Yeah, it's just it's cool. So to get around all that updates and stuff. Like if you don't have the update, you can just update the other guy. So that's cool. But
I do something where if you have Splatoon 2 and I don't, you can give me a temporary copy just to play for the moment, while I'm in the same proximity as you.
Yeah, there's no
that'd be a good idea.
There's no download play yet for.
They did the free trial, the free Splatfest before it came out. That's the only. It's the closest to a demo we got.
There was the beta. Yeah, there was the Splatfest beta, which they did a second one. They did do another one. Global Test Fire was what it was called.
That's what it was.
Which is funny because the ARMS one was called Global Test Punch. They changed it from Test Fire to Test Punch. Well, speaking of which, I did actually play. I played the equivalent of whatever it's called, Splatfest. I think it's called Party Crashers is what it's called. I played that on ARMS, and I haven't played ARMS in so long that there's all this different stuff in there added to it. And now there's badges and stuff now. So when I turned it on, they gave me 800 free coins. So I went through and unlocked a bunch of arms and got a bunch of other shit, and it kept giving me more and more coins for playing the game. So it was really cool. I got to play the mini game for a while, and that game's really good. I wish I was better at it, but I played online for Twitch for a while, and I had 30 some people watching me at one point. And I think that they thought that I was one of the other guys that was kicking my ass because I was doing so badly. And they were saying sick fight, dude. And I'm you're either making fun of me or you don't know which guy I am here. But that was cool. I had a super huge.
They were probably making fun of you.
Yeah, they were probably making fun of me. But there were still 30 people watching me get my ass kicked. So apparently it was entertaining to them.
Same thing happens in school cafeterias.
Yeah, I mean I did.
People gather around to watch people get their ass kicked.
Yeah, I did win a few though. I mean I did win some of them, but. Yeah, that's a really fun game. I forgot how fun that game is. And there was a lot of shit for me to do, and I just kept playing it, even after I did the stream and all that.
And you still only play with motion controls?
No, I don't play with motion controls at all. I play it regular. I don't do any of that punching stuff. But I bought a couple games this week.
What'd you get?
I bought let's start with the bad, and then we'll go to the good. I bought Double Dragon, the arcade game, the ACA game, which I was really excited about. I was very excited about playing, and I don't know if this is how the arcade is or if this is just how the port is, but it's borderline unplayable, like that game is. I made a video of it on YouTube. You can check it out if you haven't seen it yet, but it slows down so much, and the enemies are such punching bags that or they punch you so much that it's hard to play. It's really hard to play. I feel like I'm just getting punched and there's nothing I can really do. And it's amazing.
Can you load up on credits so you can play forever?
Yeah, no, I did play forever. I mean, it's unlimited credits. It's just not fun because it's really hard for you to punch people, even on unlimited credits. And they do this really annoying thing when you start punching where they just stand a millimeter away from you to where your punch can't hit their face. And you're just punching at them, and there's this tiny amount of space between your punches and their face. And it's so annoying. But
it's when you were a kid and you put your hand on your little brother's head and he was
yeah. Or when you put your finger in somebody's face and you're not actually touching them, but they're don't touch me. He's I'm not touching you. It was that's basically how that was. It's the same thing. But yeah, no, it's really hard to play. The graphics look better, but the sound is like super muffled. Like the music is not as vibrant as it was on NES. And the punching sounds are gone. Like when you hit people, you don't hear a noise, which is really weird. It's just, it's amazing like how different those games are. And this isn't like a nostalgia thing. I just played Double Dragon 1 on that BitBoy thing that you got me. So I played it, like a couple days ago. This isn't like just how I remember Double Dragon. I played like the NES ROM of it on there. And it's way better. I mean, I understand there's no 2-player on that, but it plays so much better. Like it sounds better.
There's 2-player mode B.
Not on Double Dragon 1. Well, you mean you mean the fighting type game?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a separate game you can play that's kind of like a fighting game. Which I always thought it was like
really weird.
It's like Mortal Kombat before Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter before Street Fighter. Even though Street Fighter 1 might have been out
run
before
the opposite
that.
Direction, like the screen loses track of both of you.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you just like run face first into the wall and you like bounce back.
Yep.
And like fall down.
Yep. We did that too.
I think you could run into each other too. Like you can run and like you'll collide and then like
you can just do it over and over again until both of you die. Also, and it's a draw. We used to do that. But yeah, no, I played a lot of that game, that B mode, which is really strange. And there were like bigger versions of the characters that were in the game in there as well. Like you played the girl, but she looked way bigger, like the whip girl, Well, she's in there too, but the weapons don't feel all that powerful in the arcade mode. Like I was playing, I was like, oh cool, I got a whip now, I can get this guy, and I'm like, no, I can't. he hit me, and now I'm dead.
Well, I played the actual arcade cabinet not too long ago, maybe like 3 months ago.
Yeah, did it feel?
And I don't remember feeling that way at all. I remember feeling like
was it slow?
It's a great arcade
down?
game.
Yeah,
and like things weren't slowing down, so maybe it's just a bad port.
Yeah, maybe. I just thought that Hamster they haven't really done any of the ports bad. I mean, you'll have to try it when you come over here just to give it a go. But it was like, wow, the slowdown is so awful. Yeah, it was like pretty much, I felt like it was completely unplayable. So it made me kind of upset. And I tried to play all the way. I was like, I'll play through the whole game right now. And I played all the way to the very last boss. And I got like so frustrated with the last boss that I rage quit pretty much. And then I came back later and played it, and I beat him in like 5 seconds. Like I was at that same spot, and I was like, "Oh, well, now he's dead, and there's the girl, and I beat the game." I was like, "Man, if I would have held on for like 10 more seconds, I could have got the whole playthrough on there." But now it's a mystery. Now you don't know what happens at the end because you don't see it in the video. So, but yeah,
that's a shame.
That one came out.
The one genre that I really want to come back is the beat 'em up genre.
Yeah,
it's just been dormant for so long. We've not had a great beat 'em up game. And I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Not like it's that complicated. It's a very simple genre. Just
not since like Streets of Rage 2 or Final Fight 3 are like probably the best two fighting games.
Castle Crashers was like a beat 'em up, right? Kind of a traditional beat 'em up.
Yeah, and that one, the game of that movie that wasn't that great. What was it called? I know John really liked it.
X versus Sever.
Scott Pilgrim. Oh. There was a game of that had there was like kind of like Double Dragon where you would like go around.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So that game was decent. It kind of played like River City Ransom, and there actually has been some River City Ransom sequels that are on 3DS. So there are some fighting games in that area. I think you have to buy them off the eShop, or maybe you can get a physical. I don't know if you can get a physical of the newest River City Rampage S game, but there are those, so they are kind of there. And there was that Wolverblade game that I got that was kind of a letdown, but, people are still trying it, I guess. They just haven't really hit it yet. They really need to just, like I said, do it like Streets of Rage 2 and Final Fight 3 and give them fucking Street Fighter moves. Like, let them do, like, moves, let them do, like, fireballs and shit like that. And it makes it a lot more fun. Give them their own set of, commands that you can do and stuff like that, and it gives it more, and also make it to where there's different pathways, like depending on what you do you can get different stories and stuff like that, like they did in Final Fight 3, and that's all you really need to do, I think. I mean, I guess you could add some RPG stuff and have them level up and all that stuff, but all I really need is just put in some moves and give it where you can beat different thing and go different ways, so it makes it like replayable. And then you got it. But
didn't even the first Double Dragon sort of have an RPG light sort of thing where you earned your moves by how many bad guys you killed or something?
Yeah, it did. It had that heart system, which that's another thing. In the arcade, the heart system isn't there, so you get all the moves like right up front. So you'd think that would be a better thing, but I don't know. Just the way it ran, I don't know. I was like,
That sucks.
yeah, it kind of sucked for me. Maybe
so far we've got one good retro arcade game in Mario Brothers, or not, that Super Mario Versus, I should say.
That's not the only one. What about Street Hoop, man? Street Hoop is awesome.
But that's from Neo Geo. I was talking about the Nintendo arcade classics.
Oh, okay. Is Double Dragon part of that? I guess it would be. Even though it's not a straight Nintendo game, it's a Technos game, which they were on the thing for Double Dragon 1 also, so they must have really worked hard to tighten it up on the NES. I'm glad they did. I feel like a lot of times the arcades aren't as good. Like if you played Ninja Gaiden, like I know you got me the Ninja Gaiden arcade game for Wii when Wii had its short-lived arcade stuff that you get on the Wii Shop. I have that game. And I found that game kind of hard to play versus the regular Ninja Gaiden. It just didn't feel as tight, I guess, the controls.
There was a Ninja Gaiden arcade game?
Yeah, you got it for me through the.
I got it for you?
Yeah, you don't remember?
Oh.
Like when you used to be able to like send presents like through Nintendo and all that. I got one for like a birthday or something. But
yeah, man, that was so cool.
Yeah, it was called like Wii Arcade or something like that. I bought what's that Sega game? The space one? I got that too.
Space Harrier?
Space Harrier, yeah, I got Space Harrier on there. Because you could actually play it with the nunchuck, like, as a motion control, like, as a digital joystick, so that was interesting. But, yeah, I had a hard time playing that one, just because it was an arcade, and it didn't feel as tight as the NES one. But maybe it's just, they just made them better for the NES, I don't know. But, yeah, some of those arcades are crazy. Well, maybe we'll see if I should still have that on my Wii U somewhere. We'll have to play that Ninja Gaiden arcade game, too.
Sure.
It's on there. We'll have to break that out. Maybe we'll do a play of that as well. But aside from all these bad games, I got like my game of 2018 I got last week so far.
Already?
Even though it came out in 2017. It's my number one game of 2018. Darkest Dungeon, which is a fucking amazing game. I really hate the term, but it's totally the Dark Souls of turn-based RPGs. It's an annoying term, and I hate it, but it's totally true in this game. Because it works the same way. It's like a super hardcore turn-based game where every move that you do matters. And if you're not paying attention, you fucking die. And you die forever. It's all permadeath. And what I realized, like I was playing the other night, and thankfully I didn't lose. Like I was playing, and basically the way the game is set up, it's like it's a 2D RPG game. And where you have 4 characters and what position that their characters are in, that changes their moves. And it changes like how they, what they can do or not. So sometimes the bad guys, if they surprise you or whatever, you'll get your order rearranged. And my order got rearranged, and my healer, the Vestal, got put to the very front of the group. And she basically got killed in like 3 hits. And she was like a super powerful Vestal. And Vestals are healers, and you basically need them all the time. And I had just gotten 2. I only had 1. So I was really pissed that I was going to lose her. So I actually totally tried to rage quit the game and restart it. So I went out of there, quit it without saving or whatever. And it automatically saves everything. You can't get out of that. Like I basically quit it and went back and restarted, and it basically showed her getting killed again. And I'm like, fuck, really? They autosave like after everything. It's like, man, they're mean in that way. But I mean, they want it to be real. Like you can't. There's no way you can like reload and like somehow get your guys back to life and all that, which I kind of love about the game and hate at the same time.
I was reading that there's like status effects in it, like
you
based
can get
on like the moods and stuff.
Well, basically you have a stress meter, which is kind of like the sanity meter from Eternal Darkness, and your stress meter will kind of build as you go through the dungeon. And if certain things happen, like there's like guys that you fight can actually do things to raise your stress level. And if your stress level gets to a certain point, you'll either go crazy or become heroic. I've had people go crazy way more than becoming heroic. But when you go crazy, you basically develop like a negative part of yourself. Like you might be afraid of monsters now, or you might be afraid of the dark, or you might like not trust anybody, or like you might develop a gambling addiction or stuff like that. And this is like stuff you have to deal with your characters. And you can actually send them to treatment areas to get those taken away for like a certain amount of money or whatever.
Like rehab or something.
Yeah, but you can also get like syphilis and like other diseases and stuff like that while you're actually, a couple of my guys have syphilis, but you can actually get that while you're in the dungeons from like touching like treasure chests that are poison and like stuff like that.
Games sure are a great escape from real life.
This game is awesome though. I mean, It's
like your own personal Vietnam.
well, I do actually really enjoy playing the game. It's just I understand it's hard, but I kind of like that it's hard. I like that it's. I mean, it's like a 2D RPG, turn-based one, but every move matters, So it makes me feel really cool when I actually like make it through a dungeon, If you can make it through a dungeon without any of your guys going insane, like it feels pretty awesome,
So does it continue forever, or is it randomly generated? Like,
no, it's not. I don't
goal at the end.
I don't think it's randomly generated. There's like story-based levels that you can do that are certain levels, but my guys aren't high enough levels to get there yet. Actually, one of the boss levels, it said like recommended level 6, and I actually went in there by accident with like some of my level 1 guys, and I actually made it all the way to the boss of that and beat him halfway before all my guys died. And that was the first time I lost guys on there. So I felt pretty awesome there. But I did it completely by accident. Like I didn't know, because the controls are a little weird. Like that's one of my criticisms that I would say about it is it's like it takes a while for you to figure out the way everything works. It doesn't really work the way you think it would work. Like if you want to go look at the stuff that you have, you want to look at your like what you have in your bag or whatever, you have to hit up on the D-pad, but then you have to move with the analog stick to point at what you want to use. And if you want to use it, you have to hit X instead of A. So it's like stuff like that makes it really confusing. So it's and if you want to start a level, you have to click in the right C stick or the right joystick instead of like hitting A or something like that. So that's how I accidentally got my way into that level, because I didn't really know what I was set on. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm in that fucking level that I didn't want to do yet. That's like red and it tells you not to go to. And I'm like, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna like see how far I can get here. And I'm like, if I die, I die, because I've never seen what happens when you die at that point. Now I've probably lost like 20 guys since then, but okay, like, and random stuff happens. Like there'll be like there's different events every week, and sometimes you can bring a character back that died before that. So sometimes you can bring your guys back from the dead, but not that often. But I really like the layout of it. There's different levels that you can pick depending on the how hard they are or whatever. And it kind of reminds me of actually playing D&D, like of actually playing a tabletop game, because there's like maps that you go to. You'll be in like a square, and then you push right on the right stick to go like up or down or left or whatever. You'll push whatever direction you want to go, and then you'll go down a hallway on this map, and then it'll go to another block. It's kind of hard to explain the way it works, but it totally reminds me of in my head like what I saw when I was playing like D&D. But the artwork is awesome. Like it kind of looks like a Hellboy comic. Like have you ever read any of that stuff? It's like the old like kind of gothic looking, and it's very much like that, and it has like it basically has a voiceover that kind of says like what you do like as you're doing it, like whenever you like light up a torch, it's like you need more light to keep you away from the darkness and stuff like that. There's a guy who like kind of narrates the whole thing as you're doing it. But yeah,
like the Stanley Parable.
And what?
Like the Stanley Parable. If you ever play that game.
No, but what was it? There was one. There was another game that did that. What was it? Bastion did that too.
It was on. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Bastion.
about. It's like.
It's called Bastion.
Bastion. Yeah,
I only remember it because that's the guy's name from Neverending Story. But yeah, it's a really cool game, and if you're like super hardcore 2D turn-based RPG stuff, you should definitely check it out. It's only $25, but you can buy the whole thing with all the DLC for $35, which I kind of wish I would have gotten that one, but I didn't really know much about the game aside from people talk about it a lot, like how much they love it.
How long does it take to beat a dungeon? Like, are you talking like you're going to sink several hours into each dungeon, or is it like something you can pick up and play?
Oh no, not at all. Like the dungeons will probably take you like 15, 20 minutes, maybe 20 at the most. Okay. It depends on the size of the dungeon. Like all the different dungeons, it'll tell you. Like there's long dungeons where you have to camp twice in there to get your life back. I haven't really done any of those. I've just been doing the short dungeons, but they're not very long. They're probably like 10, 15 minutes, but it also kind of depends on how good your guys are. Like how long, because a lot of them you have to go through and destroy all the monsters in there. You have to explore a certain percentage of the map and all that. But it doesn't take that long. Like I think the length of it is just, and the idea is you basically use money and other resources that you find to build the town that you're in. So you can make like your weapon upgrades better. You can like make your spells better. You can like make the treatment areas for your negative quirks. You can like make that cheaper and stuff like that. So basically what you want to do is you want to level up the different things in your town, so which will help. And you can always bring in new characters, like if your characters die, like they kind of want you to lose guys. And there is even like a graveyard that you can go to and visit all your dead members if you want to count like how many people you've lost and all that. But there's also like a stagecoach that you can go to. It's like a wagon, and you can go and pick up. There'll be random characters that show up there in different classes, and you can pick them up for free at any time to add to your roster. So, you can basically kind of rebuild. You can dismiss guys if you have too many and you want to get others, whatever.
Do you? Is there like equipment and stuff in the game? Like, and if so, do you lose it if they die?
No, there's not necessarily equipment that you buy, but you can upgrade your weapons. Like, so you'll start with like a level 1 weapon, and there's a blacksmith you can go to that'll make you better weapons, but you basically have to like take your guy out he has to go to a dungeon first, so you have to kind of level up a little bit before you can get to like level 2 weapons and level 2 armor and that and so forth. So you can't actually make them stronger in that way, but you have to buy it through the blacksmith. And yes, if you lose your character, you lose all the levels that you had with that character, of course. And then you have to start again with another character. But it's best to not do that. And what kind of sucks is if your guys get to a certain point, they won't do like lesser levels. Like if your guy gets to like level 3, he won't do any like level 1 missions anymore. He'll be like, that's under me. So he won't go do that. So you have to use him on like a level 3 or a level 2 mission, in which I did, and then they died on that one. So you got to make sure that that you guys are built up enough to go to that. But what I didn't mention about them going crazy, like when their stress meter gets high, they basically, something will happen to them. They'll either become like masochist or they'll become selfish, and they basically remind me of like Pokemon that are like their levels are too high for you to command, and they'll stop, like they won't do what you tell them to do. So like sometimes if they like want to hurt themselves, you can't heal them. Like you'll try to heal them and they'll say no, and then you can't heal them at all. So like they'll just like let themselves get hit because they like to get hit. Like stuff like that. Or when you're like looking in a treasure box, like sometimes they'll steal the coins out of there and you won't get any of it. Like stuff like that. So that's what happens when they go crazy. They kind of start doing shit. Or like they'll mess up the order. Like they'll think that they're like the best person in the group, so they'll go to the front of the group even though you told them not to go there. They'll do it anyway. Or like they'll randomly choose moves that you didn't do. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of like when you get a Pokemon that's too high for you and they don't listen to you. It's kind of like that.
It's like Berserk and Final Fantasy are confused.
Yeah, same sort of thing. And you really can't snap them out of that, as far as I know, until you get back and send them to like go get drunk or go to the church and pray or whatever. There's different things you can do to like lower their stress level. But if they went to the point of where they went crazy like that, they'll develop a negative trait that you'll have to get taken off later. But yeah, I think it's super cool. I've been playing a lot of it. Actually, it's been what I've been playing all week for the most part. I kind of wish I could see the hour count on it, but the Switch is weird like that, where it can't actually show you how much you played it. But I must have put at least like over 10 hours into it, I think. But I think it's really cool. I think the art's awesome, and even though it's hard, it's a lot of fun to play, and I just keep coming back to it. So that's my pick of the week for last week. That was the one I was waiting for.
I did want to say I forgot to mention that I did play Dark Souls a little bit because I have it already on my Xbox. I wasn't sure I did, and I hooked up my 360 for the first time in like 2 years, and it's so loud. I forgot how loud it is.
Dark Souls
just
is
this old. No.
The 360. Yeah.
360.
It's just this giant, like, loud device that's huge, and no wonder I don't use it anymore. But
and its power plug is like larger than
Dark
everything.
Souls on it. It worked just fine. So I played not very much of it, but I played 10 or 15 minutes of Dark Souls.
Did you get killed?
So, oh yeah,
yeah. Play till you get killed, and then yeah.
I got killed a couple of times before I quit, but I don't know if I'll get it on the Switch. I already have it,
but not portable. And the Switch is a lot quieter than the 360.
One thing that Dark Souls does that it never lets you pause. So I wonder how they're going to handle that on the Switch, because on the Switch you can put it in sleep mode at any time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think that's another thing with Darkest Dungeon. Like, I don't think you're supposed to be able to pause that game, because I think you're not supposed to be able to pause that either. But I do. I just hit the home button and then it pauses it. But I think in the regular version you won't. There is no pause. because there's no way I could figure out to pause it. So I think you'll just have that advantage in the Nintendo version. But what I don't think I mentioned, I don't know. Didn't they say that that's going to be 40 when it comes out? Whatever.
I think it's 40.
Yeah, so that's a cool, I mean, that makes me more inclined to purchase it. But I was looking, we completely didn't mention this last week, but I was looking over the releases, and the next 3 weeks, like, I'll have games that I want to play. Like, this week I'm getting Celeste tomorrow to stream. I'm going to stream that game. But then after that is Night in the Woods. Suppose that's an awesome game that was on a lot of people's lists for last year for, like, best game of the year. So I don't know if you guys have heard of that one or not. Have you guys heard of Night of the Woods? Any talk of it?
I just read the link that you sent me earlier, and the game looks pretty cool. I like LucasArts style games, so I'll probably take a look at that one.
Yeah, it's basically about, I guess the story, it's like animal creatures, but they're supposed to be like people. It's about this character that goes to college and either like fails out or can't pay for college and has to go back home to their shitty town. So it's based around like, shitty small towns and that type of thing. And everybody's kind of depressed, and you like kind of fall into this like drunken depression like there while your friends are there. And I guess there ends up being some sort of murder mystery involving around that. But it sounds like an awesome game from what I've heard. And like I said, a lot, and it's not that long. I think it's only like a 6 or 7 hour game. So I'm cool with that. But that comes out next week. And then after that is Dragon Quest Builders. So the next 3 weeks are pretty rad for me on that for releases.
You getting that one too?
I'm getting all 3 of those. I'm getting those are my like next 3 games that I'm going to play. It will be Celeste, Night in the Woods, and Dragon Quest Builders.
I was definitely thinking about picking up Celeste. That game looks really cool.
There's also it's actually out already. I don't think anybody should get it, but I find it hilarious. Did you see that game called Tennis that's on there for $7.99? It's just called Tennis.
No.
It's actually out now, but it pretty much looked like somebody was like, "Oh, hey, they're doing a Mario Tennis game. We got one that's real cheap. Put it on there. Put it on there real quick. Maybe some people will buy it while they're waiting for Mario Tennis." Is what it seemed like they were doing for that. But it's just like, it's a picture of a dude, just like a cartoon-looking dude, and it says tennis, and you can play tennis, and it's $7.99. That had to.
We're way past the age where you can just name your sports game after the sport and call it a day.
Yeah, right. But I felt like they just stuck it up there. Like I feel like it appeared like right after that mini direct. They were like, "Oh wait, we got a tennis game." Like you guys are waiting for Mario Tennis, but we got this game. We got this game from whatever. Lost Sphere is out now too. It released this week. Like speaking of big releases,
that's the sequel to I Am Setsuna, right?
Yeah. Well, it's the same company. I don't know if it's necessarily a direct sequel, but it's the same guys who made that. I know some people have played it. It's like I think it's like $50. So.
Looks like it's getting kind of mediocre reviews.
Yeah, it's $50. It got like it's got like 5 or 6s from what I saw out of 10, and I'm not ready to put $50 on a game that I'm not sure of. If it was like $20, then maybe, but that shoe game came out too.
Especially something that's going to ask for a lot of your time, like an RPG.
Yeah, there's like some games of note that came out. There's that game called Shoe that's like 10, but it looks kind of interesting. But Chroma Gun that actually came out on PS3 a long time ago. It was it's kind of like a Portal clone, sort of, except with painting different, except for using paint. So I think that one's like 20. But it's if you're looking for a poor man's Portal, you can always check that game out. I remember it coming out for PS3, and it must have been like, I feel like it was a long time ago. I don't think it has the date on it, but it had to have been like 5 or 6 years ago when it came out, at least. But I thought about getting that for a second until I found out Darkest Dungeon came out. Just want to see if there's anything of note like coming out tomorrow other than Celeste. The Fall 2 comes out like it doesn't come out until February, but I think that just appeared on there. I don't know if you remember, but the Fall was part of a Humble Bundle for the Wii U, which I got. I don't know if you played that one or not, Jeremy. But
I think I have it.
But I played it all the way through, and I thought it was fucking great. Like the Fall, the first one, I played it all in one sitting. It was like an indie game, and it's like a 2D puzzle type thing, and it reminded me kind of like Lost, like those old Super Nintendo games, like Out of This World and like
Lost Vikings.
No, not that one. Like Out of This World and Blackthorn and stuff like that. Do you remember those games? Like the 2D, or like Prince of Persia-ish, I guess. It reminded me of that, and I had a lot of fun playing the first one, so I'm excited to play the second one. And it's releasing on a Tuesday, so I think it released like with all the other ones, and it's only $17. Like it's actually going to be a multi-system release, which is always good. And I think, and there's a Scribblenauts on there too. Scribblenauts Showdown, which looks like weird, which has like some like DDR stuff on it. But yeah, that's what I've been playing for the week and the stuff that's coming out. Was there anything else? Is there any other news that we haven't mentioned, or do you guys just want to take a break and get to the Socal?
There was an update to a pretty important game.
Which game is that?
Boas.
Oh, Boas.
So the only game on Switch that you could only play in portable mode finally got an update that allows you to play it on the screen.
So now I can play that demo that I've had for so long and haven't played yet.
Yep.
I get to doing that. And there's that. There's also I don't know. Is it actually? I heard a rumor that South Park was coming to Switch. Was that ever actually confirmed? That it was.
I think it's still just a rumor.
The Fractured Butthole. I thought somebody said it was coming out in March. I don't know if that was actually confirmed or not. But
it's a rumor.
I'd get that game if it comes out. I never played the other one, but I was hoping that.
Take a truth.
Yeah, I remember. I thought they said that they were going to package them both together like Bayonetta. Like
they did when they released the new one. You got the other one for free.
Yeah,
for the PS4 and Xbox.
Yeah, I was hoping to get one where it comes with both. So they should do that for this one too.
They should do that for the Switch. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, we didn't say there was a new game announced by the people who made World of Goo.
Does it involve burning more stuff, or is it an actual game?
No, but it looks like it involves some kind of math. It's called 7 Billion Humans.
Oh.
And it's supposed to come out early 2018, sometime in the next couple of months.
Well, it'll probably show up out of nowhere then, like most of these do. Most of these when they happen.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I just saw that it got announced earlier today.
It's not really news. I mean, it's not really surprising, but Bethesda said that Panic Button is working on Wolfenstein 2 for the Switch, which doesn't really surprise me. But they mentioned that they're coming along with that. The same guys who brought us Doom and Rocket League are working on the Wolfenstein game.
Oh, that Panic Button is doing. Okay, cool.
Yeah. They said that the same company is doing it and that everything's going well on that. So I don't know if that means that it'll be coming out soon or not. But that's another game that I like to play.
I thought I remember hearing February on that game.
Yeah. I don't think I saw an actual date yet. Anyway, do you guys want to take a break and talk about the Expo?
Let's take a break.
Anyway, so now we're post the stuff that we had at the beginning of the show. John's back from the Socal Expo. What did you think?
Boy, am I exhausted from coming back from the Socal Expo just right now.
Yeah, your arms are really tired from flying here, right?
That was pretty far from the house, so I understand the jet lag and everything.
What did you end up getting there? We totally skipped that earlier. Oh, we did say that we were going to talk about it later, but yeah, we skipped that part.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
I got a couple of cool things. I'll give you the freebies first. So I got these cool retro bit 8-bit sunglasses that aren't sunglasses; they're just frames.
Yeah,
there you go.
Makes you look like a 8-bit dude.
I got this Hyperkin coin, and I haven't opened up this package yet, but it looks like there's Pogs inside.
Pogs?
So, maybe I'll pop it open right now. Let's see what's in there.
Those things are never going out of style.
Leave it sealed, man. You're compromise the value. It's Pogs, all right.
Yeah, these are Pogs. Hyperkin Pogs
plain?
With Retrons on them, and
it's like, can you buy things? Can you buy Hyperkin things with those coins? And be like, I will take give me a Superboy.
Was that a Superboy?
A Superboy, yeah.
That was a Superboy.
Yeah.
Superboy's back.
Superboy.
Pog form.
Yeah.
Superboy. So there's that. And I got a old school gamer magazine. It's a pretty cool magazine that was there.
Oh, that's cool. I like that art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a physical too.
Billy Mitchell and
physical actual magazine.
Chibi form on the front.
Is that what that was?
Chibi Billy Mitchell.
Chibi Billy.
Oh, yeah.
There he is. So yeah, I actually talked to the daughter of the publisher there, and they're looking for writers, so maybe I will submit something.
You guys should both submit something. We should all
Jeremy
submit
should
something.
too.
Maybe we both should, yeah.
Magazine came with a free poster, which is a Donkey Kong illustration.
I like it.
Yeah. It's a
It's like a
bigger
Donkey
version
Kong
of the
anime.
cover.
I got this nifty Hyperkin 8-bit bow tie.
Yeah.
Go with your 8-bit shades.
That's right. It's a pin, actually. Just pin it on.
You can be totally 8-bit styling.
And then the two big things that I got this very big Ultimate Guide to the NES Library
that's
book.
Pretty. That's a
It's a very
thick book.
pretty book.
Yeah. Can you
This
open
is by
it?
Pat Country,
That's
who is
the NES
better
punk,
known
right?
as
Yeah.
Pat the NES Punk.
Oh, that's him. Okay.
Yeah, he's the same
Yeah.
guy who wrote... Well, he wrote a similar thing to what Jeffrey Wittenhagen did. I'm just curious as to what it looks like.
Yeah, so it goes into detail about every NES game released in the U.S.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's kind of how it looks there. Sometimes there's a couple games to each page, like 4 games to each or 2 games to each page. But then for the bigger games,
Are those
he'll do
reviews
like a
at the top,
one-page spread.
too?
Yeah, he does a review of each one. He remarks on how rare it is.
Oh, there's Big Nose. I see him.
Big Nose the Caveman. And it's all laid out in a really cool style. Where
Does it have that
got
new book
shots of the
smell?
game.
It looks like it's got the new book smell.
it has a
Can you
fantastic
smell it from
new book
there?
smell. And this is probably the biggest book that I own. This weighs like a good 8 or 10 pounds.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Does it have any of the homebrew stuff in there? Or is it only... It's probably only the regular NES stuff, right?
I think there was a section on homebrew. I haven't really read through it all the way yet.
Are they in
but there's
alphabetical or chronological order?
alphabetical.
Autobiographical?
Autobiographical, yes. Yes, Dragon Power was a real true story. Yeah, and then there's some sections in the back that kind of go into other topics. Really, the whole thing is about going into the main games, but then there's some stuff on certain rare games like the Nintendo World Championships. And yeah, so it's a really cool book, really in depth. Definitely pick it up. I think it was worth the $60.
Yeah,
and I got it signed too
I
by
figured it would be 6.
Pat and by Ian, his co-host from the CU podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah, I figured. I think Jeff's book is like more of a checklist,
Mhm.
like for collectors. Like it does. I think it has like maybe a little bit like less writing than that, but it's like do you have the box? Like, do you have the manual? Like, do you have the
Right.
plastic case? Like, there's like stuff like that in there. Like, so you
Oh
can.
no, this is not a checklist. This
Yeah.
is like a high quality coffee table book.
Yeah. Well, his is
It's
too.
really impressive.
I mean, his is too. It's like a hardcover checklist, pretty much. Like it's like where you look at it and it'll be like, here's all the NES games. But I think he has homebrew stuff in there too. I was just curious, like what the differences were.
So does it give like full page spreads to like bigger games like Mario 3? Maybe it has like a full page devoted to it, or
Yeah, it does. It gets bigger for the bigger games. Yeah.
cool or more influential.
How big is the Dragon Quest page? That's all I need to know. Like,
Let's see.
Is it half the
Dragon
book
Quest.
because it's the most important game in there? That's all I'm saying.
It's 20 pages,
Which I forgot to mention it earlier,
and they come free with the magazine.
and I forgot to mention it last week. But since I was playing Dragon Quest Builders demo, it reminded me of the world so much that I've gone back to playing Dragon Quest 8. So I put some more hours into that on 3DS. So I've been playing that also. I play like Darkest Dungeon, that's really hard, and then I go to Dragon Quest, which is not as hard. It's a nice, lighter way to not get stressed before you go to
Darkest
bed.
Dungeon probably was influenced by Dragon Quest at some point.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, every turn-based RPG was influenced
Dragon
by Dragon
Warrior.
Quest.
There you go.
1-4.
Well, there should be 4 of them in there.
1, 2. Oh, continues on the next page.
Yeah, should be
Yep,
4 of them.
3, 4.
Because they were all 2, 3, and 4 are like pretty hard to find, but I'd love to get one someday if I could. Because they weren't as much as the first one. The first one you can get for like $2 probably, but especially
I have
3.
2 copies.
3 is really good.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend this book. Worth $60. Yeah, you can get it at ultimatnes.com if you're interested.
Cool.
And the biggest thing that I got,
Yeah.
Dude, you were just talking about that last week.
For those who can't
yes,
see,
I was.
who
This
can't
was
see,
the thing
John.
that I was
Yeah.
looking for the most. Last week I said if I found Zelda Master Quest disc, I would buy it. Not only did I find it, I found it for a great deal. This was $30. That's
Nice.
the lowest I have ever seen it.
Yeah, that's not bad. I feel that some of those, like you showed me some of the prices for that place. I felt like some of that stuff was like way too expensive. But that seems like a decent price. Like those $40 He-Man toys, you can buy like 10 He-Man toys for $40 on eBay.
Oh, yeah. So I should explain a little bit, if I didn't explain already in the previous recording. The show was held at a place called Frank & Sons, where it was separated, right? So separately from the actual game convention, which was held in the middle of the Expo Center. They had all these stores that are permanently there. And those prices were really jacked up, like $40 for a He-Man figure.
Yeah, that looked insane.
Out of the package.
Yeah,
but the prices at the actual expo were really pretty fair.
Yeah, I was wondering because some of those toy prices were like, I was like, that's crazy because there's a used toy place down the street from me, and they sell stuff for way cheaper than that. They got
what did you call the turtles? That was pretty funny.
Oh, the Super Ninja or something, the knockoff ones.
No, the Ninja Turtles. He had a.
Oh yeah, the $250. Original Ninja Turtles in the package for each one. There was Take a Mortgage Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Go Mortgage Ninja Turtles. So those are the ones with the soft heads. I remember I had a Raphael and I chewed on his head because it was soft.
So
they would turn weird colors too after a while. They kind of yellowed.
Yeah,
his body is green, but he's yellow in the head.
Yeah, some of the heads.
And only the head was soft. Like the rest of the body, like was a different plastic, so it was kind of strange.
Do you remember? I know we talked about this when both of us were in college. When John and I were in college at Columbia, we talked about making a trip to like Trauma Dance. They're like thing, and we were going to get this portable GameCube thing. Do you remember that? For the car?
Portable GameCube. Oh, yeah, there was like a flip-top screen.
Yeah, you can still get that on eBay. I was thinking about that. I was like, you should get one so you can play the Master Quest on your GameCube since you don't have a TV. I'm going to send you... It's like $30. I'm going to send you a link to it right now. You can probably find one for cheaper if this one's like... But yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was like, you should try to find one of those portable GameCube screens that we'd always talked about getting.
I should do that. I should bring it on the flight, too.
Oh, that'd be funny. You'd have to get a battery pack.
Battery.
Oh, yeah, it's not letting me send it to you for some reason.
But yeah, that was all the stuff that I got. And other than that, I went to see two panels. I saw the Gaming Historian, which he talked about an upcoming Tetris video that he's going to do. And I saw the Angry Video Game Nerd, and he answered questions from the audience. The bad part about it, though, is that the setup for the audio there was just terrible. Like, I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, really?
They only had a set of speakers up at the front. They didn't have any speakers in the back or in the middle. Meanwhile, it was right next door to where they had all the competitions going on. So there was tons of noise coming from behind us.
Yeah.
And nobody in the back from, like, the whole back half of the auditorium could not hear what was going on up front. So unfortunately, after sitting there for like a good 20 minutes, I decided I couldn't hear anything anyway. So I left and I went to Scoured for deals at the end of the day.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it kind of sucked because I really wanted to hear it, but I just couldn't. So
you couldn't hear either panel?
No, I walked in.
I was curious if the Angry Video Game Nerd was like being his character, if he was just being himself.
Oh, supposedly he's like that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He wasn't he wasn't his character, or he was his character?
No. He was not his character.
Oh, okay.
He was just being his normal self. But he's always struck me as a real friendly guy.
Because they do just normal like gameplay videos too on that channel.
Yeah, they do.
Himself, he's only like that character in those specific videos.
Yeah, when he's doing whatever, when he's doing his
outrage videos.
Yeah, his shtick or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
the line to meet him was like outrageous.
Yeah.
Like there were some other people there who were pretty popular and everything, and generally you could kind of walk up to their booth and say hi and say what's up. That was not the case for the Angry Video Game Nerd. Mm-hmm. Like he kind of came later in the day, but once the word was coming that he was there, people started to line up and it was snaked around the whole place.
Yeah.
So once I saw that happening, I thought, well, I better get into the auditorium early because I want to make sure I get a seat. But even so, the auditorium was already half full, so I couldn't get all the way up front. And so I was disappointed in that because I couldn't really hear him at all. But
did he have a microphone or anything? Or I mean, he must have.
Yeah,
right?
he had a microphone. Just the problem.
It sounds like they only had the two PA speakers up front.
Yeah.
They had the speakers up in front. They didn't think to put any in the middle or in the back. And then they put the auditorium right next to the place where they were doing the competitions.
Yeah.
Which they were making all kinds of noise.
Yeah, everything seems to be Like those, the past couple MGC ones that I went to in Milwaukee, they kind of have a weird setup for that too. That's actually why they're putting it in a different thing this year, because it's like there's not enough space. Like every time we went to go see any of the panels, it's like in the middle of a restaurant, and like sometimes like the first time I saw Retronauts there were people like still like bringing food like across like in front of the stage, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Weird.
And there's also like another thing going on behind that, which they have like a curtain, but it's like there's like people talking and they're playing music and they're recording another thing like behind them. So it's like, and there's like, you know, there's like a qualification thing like in the corner. So like everything's like all next to each other. So I ran into that same thing where it's kind of like sometimes there's just too much shit going on like and too close to each other where it's like you need more space, you know. So I've seen that type of thing.
And I felt
before,
bad getting up too, because I know, you know, up there on the stage, like, you know, he could see me getting up and everything.
Yeah.
And a couple people getting up.
Yeah, you're like, sorry, dude, the PA
like,
sucks.
I think you're boring. It's like, I just can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you're getting noticed by that person you admire.
There you go.
Yeah.
For leaving.
He's like, hey, you remember me? I left your panel that one time.
The guy who left.
I'm the guy you can never forget, right? Because I just took off. Yeah, no, that sucks. Like, especially you can't hear that.
I feel like it was even like that in Portland to a certain extent. Well, like for instance, like the Metal Jesus Rocks, that was like the one that everybody like flipped their lids over. Like everyone wanted to go to that panel, and so there was this whole room devoted as a line before, because there was already something going on in that auditorium. So before, you know, that event was over, and then their panel was up, the Metal Jesus people. There was this room that was just like a bunch of tape on the floor and like a, you know, like almost like a pattern of a maze. And the whole room filled up with people just like standing in a big, like shoulder to shoulder in this room, and then followed this like imaginary line on the floor to eventually get in. And it was very similar to what you said. The sound wasn't very good, and I ended up leaving pretty much every panel I went to. I left early, except for the very last couple I went to when the crowd had thinned out a lot on the last day. But it seems like in all of these cases, they're still ironing out the kinks. Like it's different every year or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's always some new problem when you have like a big event like that.
Well, you know, you could tell that there wasn't a whole lot of money behind the event, but there's enough people showed up. So I get the feeling like maybe in 3 or 4 years, maybe this won't be a problem anymore. Maybe they'll have bigger, more appropriate venues with more controlled sound.
Was this the
first? It wasn't that long ago that all these things were held at hotels.
Yeah.
And now at least it's better than that. But
yeah, I was going to say, was it the first time that this has happened, or was it like how many SoCal retro gaming expos are there, or have there been? Do you know?
This is the 4th one.
Okay, but this is in a bigger place probably than the last 3 were. So they're like
probably so. And actually, as it turns out, I found out that day that not only was there the SoCal Retro Gaming Expo going on, but there was another expo
in California
going on the same day, like in Pomona, which is not that far away, like a couple miles. And so that was kind of, I guess, I was hearing a conflict in the community. Like, do you go to this one? Do you go to that one? I don't know why they were scheduled on the same day, but they were. Apparently, the one I went to was the one that more of the YouTubers went to, whereas the other one I was hearing was the one that maybe had the bigger selection of games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that was the one that had the Nintendo.
Where the Nintendo PlayStation was.
Yeah.
I was disappointed because I thought it was going to be at the one I was at. But, yeah, it was over there.
Mm-hmm.
You said you saw a 64DD while you were there?
Yeah, for like $800, right?
Yeah, I saw a 64DD. Maybe we can just kind of look through the photos. By the way, I posted a bunch of photos for anybody interested on the NintenDomain Facebook page, so you can scroll through the things that I saw. And one of those things was the 64DD, and the 64DD was there with a couple other games. And I asked the guy, he said, in fact, he was selling them all as a bunch because there's no way he could sell just the games alone. So you got the 64DD and I think 5 games and a mouse for $800. It was the 3 Mario Artist games, and then 2 other games I don't recognize.
Is Doshin on there?
I didn't see Doshin specifically. I was looking for that one.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to try that one.
That's the one I really want to play. I think that Doshin was actually re-released on GameCube, on the European GameCube. Is that how that got there? Because there is a GameCube version of Doshin out there somewhere. So we should find a way to play that. That'd be great.
Yeah, I was looking for that. While I'm thinking about it, I want to take a moment to recognize a couple of people that I took pictures of, and I just wanted to give them a shout out for taking pictures of their their artwork for letting me do that. There was an artist there. His name is Christopher Cayco, Cayco, and he had some really cool prints for sale. You can get him at youtube.com/Cayco, CCAYCO.
We can, if you send me the links, John, I can put it in the liner notes of the episode.
Yeah, we'll do all that. And then Dawson Perler Parlor. They make these really cool 8-bit bead art things that I had to have some pictures of on there. You can see them at Etsy. Search for Dawson Perler Parlor. And then the last thing is Old School Gamer Magazine, oldschoolgamermagazine.com. Check it out.
Yeah, if you can send me their addresses and send me like their Twitters if you know that, and I'll put it all in the notes and in the tweet.
Sure.
I can like at them on the tweeter. Like on the tweeter.
On the tweets or
on the tweeter.
What about these two dudes in the really awesome like you've got Captain N and then you've got
there's some cosplay going on.
I didn't get their names, but there was a guy who he had all the accessories basically taped all over him.
Yeah.
And then there was a guy dressed like Captain N.
Great sight.
Nice.
I saw a Pikachu N64 for $150, which I was going to tell my friend about because he actually has one.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was wondering how much it would go for.
Who was the person that made the 3D printing stuff? I know you talked about that in the pre-show that we talked about, or the during show.
But take a look at some of those things on there. They're pretty cool.
You have the picture.
She had 3D printed Divine Beasts from Zelda. They were really, really cool. And I know from my experience with 3D printing that printing things in fine detail like that is really hard. So, she had to...
Those would be cool to have. They're really cool looking.
I know she told me she spent dozens of hours getting the design just right. So, yeah. And then those masks that you see, there were 3D printed Majora's masks. They were really cool. I thought they were wood.
Does your program guide have does it have a map of the show or the vendor floor on it? You might be able to figure it out from that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. No, I don't think I picked up anything like that.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just was curious.
Oh, no problem. Somebody was selling a lot of foam core box art that was really, really cool. I wish I had picked up one or two of those now that I think about it. But he had like these high quality images. They were pretty large. They were like maybe 14 inches tall or something that you could just put up on your wall.
Yeah.
And lots of cool stuff there. So go on and take a look at the pictures. See for yourself.
What was the most interesting thing you saw there?
Most interesting? Well, the most expensive games that I saw there were Little Samson and Bonk's Adventure on the NES. I don't know if that qualifies as most interesting, but definitely most expensive.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's how you feel about it.
It was pretty cool to be like, oh, they're right there, just behind a few inches of glass.
Yeah, you also found Cowboy Kid, my personal and favorite NES game.
Oh, yes.
That was
I had never seen the picture before. If you want a good laugh, if you're having a bad day, look up the cover for Cowboy Kid on the NES.
When you sent me that picture, I was convinced that was a fake picture, because if you look at the Cowboy Kid picture and you look directly behind it and it has like some dude looking like Jack Black in a wig playing soccer, I'm like, this must be the made up game cover area that you found. And these game covers aren't real. That's what I thought of when you said it. Because that one behind it looks like so ridiculous. That I'm like, yeah.
That is the actual cover for International Superstar Soccer 99.
Yeah, I'm going to have to... I might have to use that as the picture for our podcast.
I think you might be wearing a hip necklace if you look closely.
Yeah, because I was like, those aren't real. Those aren't real stuff. But then there's like Carmageddon or something back there. I was like, well, maybe that one's real. But yeah, they look totally fake. Yeah, Cowboy Kid.
I just love the Cowboy Kid cover. How ridiculous it is. I can't put it into words. Just look at it yourself. And then the fact that the game is $220 with the little price tag underneath that ridiculous cover is just absolutely perfect.
It's the best game of all time. And then like it's got $20 International Superstar Soccer behind it. But yeah, I mean, an
equally good mustache on that cover.
Yeah, that could have been Burt Reynolds and Lou Diamond Phillips there. And I mean, you squint at it, it kind of looks like
I would cast him in Cowboy Kid the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe Swayze.
Well, Swayze's dead, so he can't do it now.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But yeah, you had was it a good time overall? I mean, it sucks that the panels didn't work, but
yeah, it was totally worth it, if anything, just for that Zelda disc and getting to meet the people that I got to meet.
Yeah. Did you find any
Yeah, it was a lot of
3DSs there, or were they just too pricey? Did you find any used 3DSs for sale, or were they just all too pricey? I know you said you were looking for a 3DS. Did you find any?
I'd already spent enough, so I kind of I saw some there, but I didn't really look into it just because I already had spent enough money.
Sure.
I did not see any Wii U's at an affordable price, and I did not see Cubivore at all. I looked for it.
Yeah, I figured you didn't see Cubivore because it's a pretty... I mean, I don't think I've seen Cubivore for a while at any of these places.
Oh, I did forget to show one more thing that I got. I got Chibi Robo Ziplash on the 3DS.
Yeah.
With the amiibo for $10.
Oh, the game came with it too. I thought you just got the amiibo.
I got the game and the amiibo
for $10. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great deal. Yeah,
I had to pick that up.
Yeah, that's
I was looking for Chibi Robo Park Patrol, but this is a good replacement, I guess. So with the amiibo, $10.
Yeah, I thought about getting that amiibo. I just never really found it anywhere, and I wasn't really into the game, I guess. But now it begins.
It's one of the few life-size amiibos.
Yeah,
that's true.
I was gonna say, and so it begins. Now next thing you know, you'll be trying to hunt all of them. They'll come after you. That's your first amiibo. No.
Yeah, that's my first amiibo that's not edible.
Yeah, and you don't want to get 20 other Zelda amiibos. I mean, they're everywhere. Or amiibo. It's a plural to say amiibo, not amiibos.
With Miitomo gone from your life, you're gonna have to bring in the amiibo in.
That's true.
Yep, something like that. Well, is there anything else you want to say about Socal that we missed? Do you want to touch on about the
I'll see you there next year.
You're going to go back? You should come to the Midwest Gaming Classic. That one's been my favorite. So if you come out here for the Milwaukee one in April, you get to compare the two.
I'll have to go to that too.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Probably, it'll be in a different place now, so we'll have to see how they change it. They're supposedly moving it to a bigger area instead of a hotel, so it'll be interesting. But if you don't have it...
less than 3 months away.
Yeah, it's time to get saving. But if
you this time last year, we were saying that about the Switch.
What, the Switch was 3 months away?
2 months away at this point.
Yeah, right? We're almost to a year with the Switch. Coming up March.
Definitely we'll be doing an episode about that.
Yeah, and the cool
Switchiversary.
thing... I was going to say, the cool thing is that we're still playing that Zelda game that came out with it, you know?
Yep, I just played it earlier today.
Yeah, you were playing it today, and I was playing around with the motorcycle, so, I mean, it's... And I'm still playing the Wii U version that I have. I've barely touched the Switch version that I have. But the Wii U one, I have all the stuff in the motorcycle, so I've been playing that one. But, yeah, if you don't have anything else to say about Socal, let's call it an episode here. You good?
That's it.
All right.
That's the end of the episode.
So this has been episode 105. We are your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
Jerry Mikowski.
John Knitter.
And, you can find us at NintenDomainPodcast.com. That's where you can get pretty much access to everything that we have. But we have a YouTube channel, YouTube/FingMater. And I do streams every Thursday and Sunday at around 3 o'clock. Like Thursday, I do new Switch games, and Sunday, I do retro games. So I'm still working on Skies of Arcadia for the retro one because I've decided that I'm just going to play all the way through that game because it's too good to just only play part of. So that's what I'm doing with that. But tomorrow, as in yesterday, I'll be playing Celeste on there. And for the next few weeks, I'll be doing Night in the Woods and Dragon Quest Builders. So look forward to those. If you're watching it, you can get it on Twitch, twitch.tv/NintenDomain Podcast. We're on there. And if you miss that, it'll be put on YouTube afterwards. So you can check all that stuff there from us. And, thanks for listening. Tell your friends if you like it. Tell them about it. Tell your family members. Tell your enemies. Tell your bosses. Tell your peers. Tell everyone about NintenDomain and how... spread the love.
Write your senators and tell them about us.
Yeah, write your senators and tell them to stop sucking and like our show and all that. Anyway, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week, or we'll talk to you next week.
See ya.
Later.
So,
wait, can you edit this in at exactly 35 minutes? Hey, it's exactly 35 minutes now.
don't tempt me.
That's it. That's all I want.
Don't tempt me. I might do it.